Hey, it's Matt. I wanted this evening to share another quote with you. Actually, yesterday I was spending some time going through some book summaries that I typed up, and I came across this quote that was just really powerful for me, and I thought you could take away something from it as well. Every time I read a book, whether it's, physically in hard copy or on my iPhone or iPad, whatever, I always like to take notes or highlight certain, parts of the book or quotes that just really made me think. And I was looking through this one book summary in particular from the book, The Alchemist. And if you haven't read it, I highly recommend you do. Hopefully I'm saying the name right. But I actually remember finishing the book, and I was sitting in Denver International Airport, and I had this in hard copy. And as soon as I finished it, this young man walked by me and sat a couple chairs down. And he worked at the airport. He had his kind of yellow vest, so he must have worked for one of the airlines kind of on the tarmac. I'm guessing, I don't know if he put luggage on the plane, took it off, but he worked somewhere on the tarmac, and it looked like he was on his lunch break. And as I was sitting there, I had noticed them, and because the book was so impactful for me, it was on my heart that I needed to walk up and give him this book. And so I figured, well, what's the worst that could happen? He doesn't like to read, and he says, no, thank you. And so I got up, and it was almost time for my flight. So I went over and just said, hey, do you like to read? And he said, yeah, I really like to read. And I said, well, I'd like to give you this book. I just finished it, and I think you'll enjoy it. I took a lot from it, and I hope you do as well. And he got this big smile, and I obviously surprised him, and he was so thankful, and I told him to have a good day, and kind of off I went. And as I was standing there getting ready to board the airplane, I looked up and I could see where our interaction took place, and there he was on his lunch break, sitting there reading the book. And who knows what happened with him. I just hope he took a lot from it, and I hope it really made him think. And I wanted to share one part of it because, in the journey that I think we're all on in life, we face those struggles and those trials as we're kind of trying to achieve that dream for our life and for our family. And so let me read this quote to you, and I'd be very, very curious to get your thoughts and reflections on it after you let it sink in a bit. So here it is from the book, The Alchemist. Before a dream is realized, the soul of the world tests everything that was learned along the way. It does this not because it is evil, but so that we can, in addition to realizing our dream, master the lessons we've learned as we've moved towards that dream. That's the point at which most people give up. It's the point at which, as we say in the language of the desert, one dies of thirst just when the palm trees have appeared on the horizon. I thought that was fascinating because I think of my journey with my business and trying to raise a family and everything that I've been through. And, sometimes in the past, just when I thought, oh, here's the break, here it is, right? Here's the tipping point, something would happen that would pull it back. And I was being tested once again. And that's obviously why I'm so passionate about this mental toughness aspect, right? Because when you're faced with that adversity, it's all about how you react and keep pushing and pushing. And I thought it was so interesting how when we're chasing a dream, that kind of the universe wants to make sure that we have mastered that skill before we achieve that dream, and that we will be tested, but that the strong will keep going, that they'll keep taking those small steps, one in front of the other, as they try to reach that point of success. It was, I don't know, it just really hit me because I think we get to the point where we grind so much and we go so far, and it seems like it's right there, but it's not. And we see that illusion of the palm trees, right? But we don't know if it's out there in the desert unless we keep walking and unless we keep honing our skill set and improving every day, so that when we ultimately reach what we think is those palm trees and that water that we've been seeking, that refuge, that it's real. and it's tangible and we can touch it and we can feel it. So I love that quote because it sums up, frankly, my business, but also the journey that I've been on and the dream that I continually chase day after day. And perhaps the point is today that instead of giving up, let's keep going and let's find those palm trees in the desert, and our oasis is awaiting us. Please type your comments in below. I'm very curious of how that impacts you. I hope you have a fabulous remainder of your day, and as always, don't hold back.